In 1973, directly as a consequence of the television series, I was contacted by tribal organizations in Oregon and Washington who explained that they were in a terrible predicament. They were either non-federally recognized or legislatively terminated by Congress. They were Indian, but they had no status as federally recognized tribes. So at their request, I joined a tribal delegation of 4 from the Small Tribes Organization of Western Washington to fly to Washington, D.C. and walk the halls of Congress to make the case for looking at the predicament of West Coast tribes. Senator James Aberrask of South Dakota and Representative Lloyd Meads from Washington State made my appointments. That led, interestingly, in 1976 to the hearings of the Joint Congressional Commission on the American Indian for the Task Force on Non-Federally Recognized and Terminated Tribes. And I was a witness in those congressional hearings. And ultimately, those ventures in the 1970s changed history, because in 1977, Congress began restoring tribes to a federal relationship. And I was intimately involved, directly involved in those, including testifying several times before Senate and House committees in Washington, D.C. My journey in life also went in another direction beyond college teaching, from classroom to courtroom, starting in 1979. I was asked to serve as expert witness in the Columbia River Indian tribal fishing rights cases on behalf of the Wahkiakum, Cowlitz, and Chinook tribes. And that was my first foray into working as an expert witness. And I learned a lot of lessons really quickly about how to do that. Never take notes into the courtroom. Have your father, if possible, in the courtroom and listening to the conversations in the elevator during the breaks. Speaking directly to the lawyers, to the audience, and looking at the judge. And storing your mind with lots of useful information. In that very first trial, my opposing expert witness, Dr. Vern Frederick Ray, who had done more than 20 cases before the Indian Claims Commission, brought in handfuls of notes on 4x5 cards. He got up in the witness box and he dropped all the notes, and they went all over the floor of the courtroom. And from then on, he was not a very good witness. He lost his place.